For the first time in a minute, I have to make a sort of serious video about Counter-Strike because I was a little bit wrong on non-prime matchmaking, and the more that I've played, I've gotten a greater understanding of why it exists, what it does, and, well, if it's a detriment to the game or not. So if you give a shit about non-prime matchmaking, or if you want to hear about how I think it's actually a good thing now, then sit back, relax, and enjoy, because honestly, I ran into a problem recently. I can't find any non-prime matches. I can't. I am an MG1 in non-prime matchmaking, and that is over the course of about 24 or 25 wins. So a lot of those presumably were with hackers on my squad or hackers on the other squad. I would say that I'd be willing to put money down that I probably get a 50-50 ratio between games that have somebody who's cheating in it and games that don't. And commonly speaking, these prime matchmaking or non-prime matchmaking, games that have cheaters in it typically tend to be Dust 2. Mirage to a lesser extent, but outside of that, the vast majority are on Dust 2. And that's well, expected to say the least. But what it allows you to do is if you really do want to play non-prime matchmaking and have a better chance of enjoying yourself on a non-serious account, as long as you uncheck Dust 2, you should it's probably like 80% of your matches are going to be clean. Now, I said that I was wrong about some stuff. What I think I was wrong about was that prime matchmaking and non-prime matchmaking being split did not ruin the game at all. In fact, I would be willing to bet that it actually helped the game as a whole. Going free to play initially seemed like the worst fucking idea ever, and I still stand by the fact that it definitely hurt a lot of stuff. Overwatch cases, the influx of new players, especially for the lower ranks. It's really difficult to find a positive in there, but I'd like you to sit down and hear me out, okay? I think that non-prime matchmaking has created a net, almost like a filter, that pretty much exclusively strips, hackers from the system. If you don't know, there are two ways to get prime, all right? There's two ways. One, you buy the game outright and you link a phone number. I believe you still have to do that. Ta-da, you have prime matchmaking, you're good to go. Anyone can do this. It's like old Counter-Strike. Two, if you play non-prime matchmaking and get level 21 on that account, you are now eligible to get prime matchmaking for free. Now, the idea here is you've already spent so much time building up this account to get prime matchmaking. If you were going to cheat, you were already going to do it. And if you were going to, and if you wanted to do it faster and ruin other people's games, you'd hop on and you'd buy the game for like $10 just like you normally would. But what it does is allows people to have this kind of trial period where they're introduced to Counter-Strike. They're trying to figure out if they maybe want to keep playing it. And it really does a good job of weeding out all of the people that are cheating. I say this because most of the people now that cheat in my games are level 2, level 3, and lower. They get on for the explicit purpose of cheating. And because they're doing this on free accounts, most of these games that I'm getting into in non-prime are hack versus hack that are not really enjoyable for either side. I mean, most of the games that have hackers in them end in another team forfeiting because people kick each other, there's infighting. People who want to ruin the game don't enjoy playing against somebody else with the same idea as them. Hey, let's go in here and aim hack. Let's go in here and ruin shit. They get mad at each other. There's a bunch of verbal shit going back and forth. Honestly, it's some of the more entertaining content I've had on Counter-Strike. But really, truly, I do believe that this means that people get onto the game with their free account and they say, oh, hacking's not even that fun. And they kind of stop doing it. Or at least they stop doing it as much. You might say, Tucker, I don't think that's true. I don't think that there's a way for you to say, hey, non-prime matchmaking is really helping keep the hackers out of prime. What if they just bought the game? Well, I mean, then we're back to square one. I don't think that it's hurting in any way, shape, or form. When I initially said that non-prime matchmaking was hurting Counter-Strike as a whole because it went free to play, I was worried about people who were going to try out Counter-Strike free and who were going to have a miserable time with people who are cheating. That still stands true. They're going to have a fucking terrible time. It is not fun. But all they have to do, if they really don't want to spend the money, is play deathmatch or casual or whatever you want to do and get up to level 21. That takes time. That takes hours of gameplay. And that commitment, that amount that they have to put in, really deters people from throwing it all away. I think more people are willing to spend $15 and throw away an account than they are to spend a day or two playing in-game to throw away that account. And I'm not talking like 2 days. I'm talking about like a fucking 24 hours of game time. I've run into a really big problem though, and that's that there's just not enough people playing non-prime. At an MG1 area, my queue times are at minimum 5 minutes. If I have Dust 2, it's maybe 4 minutes or so, but 5 minutes to play a game. And what happens to the amount of players that are in the game? The type of players that are in the game? The ranks range from somewhere in low silver to about MG. I've never seen an MG player or higher in any of the games that I've had, but almost every single game is this crazy smattering of people who are actually silver, and then me and other people that have, for whatever reason, decided to play non-prime enough to get a rank, you know, in the gold novas or so. And that's an issue because now I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with my non-prime account. What can I do? I could just switch it over, make it prime. What happens then? You keep your rank, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that if I just paid for it, I could get that MG account and just have it in regular. There's a pretty easy way to just boost yourself from gold nova or silver. If you just go ahead and play non-prime enough, you're going to end up with an account that's way, way, way higher ranked than you should be. Because, like I said, you're playing against trash players, new players, players that don't want to take the game seriously. Nobody in non-prime is giving a shit. And that makes for entertaining content. So that's a problem. You know, I can't find any games at my rank. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make a new non-prime account, and I'm going to play again in my placements, and I'm going to fuck around and have fun. I think that gives us people who aren't really trying to be as serious as others an outlet for our stupidity that's not going to affect anybody that's invested into Counter-Strike. So if you're somebody who's concerned that my stupidity, my Deagle and Scout only placement matches are gonna fuck with you, don't be, because the people that are, you know, that I'm playing with largely aren't the type of people that are trying to decide if they want to play Counter-Strike or not. These are people that are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play competitive. I already know I like it. Let's jump in here. Like, not a single person that I've ever introduced to Counter-Strike has said, let's play competitive. Like, I have to yell at them to do it. They want to play deathmatch. They want to play wingman. They want to play anything else but that. And the good news is that, like I said, the people that actively play competitive, everyone that I get queued with, there's pretty much no new players. Pretty much no really new players. They're just bad. And they're just not interested in learning. And they're not interested in doing, you know, anything outside of just fucking around and having fun. So I was wrong. I think that non-prime matchmaking and free-to-play for Counter-Strike has overall benefited the system by giving you guys a little bit of a buffer zone between douches who just want to hack to try and cheat, and who knows if they're going to like it or not, and people that are actively out there trying to ruin your games in prime matchmaking. Now, another problem that I had, I said that it fucked up with Overwatch. It did. The amount of free, like, why bother even hiding it hacks has increased. Most of my Overwatch cases are just clear-cut. Guilty, you know, spin bot, whatever you want to call it. I mean, gone are the days where I'm really sitting here looking at stuff going, I don't know if he's cheating, just because of how easy it is to make a new account. People are way more brazen with their hacks. And I think that this has degraded the ability for people in Overwatch to make an impact in the game. All right? I don't think that I am having any impact at all in Overwatch because these players probably should have been banned automatically anyways. It's a frustrating thing because I've said it multiple times. If you're spinning in circles hitting headshots, the game should easily be able to say, this is not possible. It's just not. Your character's rotating too fast. You're hitting too many headshots with like improbable stuff. There's gotta be a better way, an automatic detection that would help fix this issue so I could get back to the meat of the problem, people who are using walls and hiding it well. Because when we talk about cheaters, we're not really talking about the ones that are easy to find out. We're talking about Joe on your team who has some really suspect calls and plays, and he does pretty well. He goes 24-18, but you guys win the game. And you're like, all right, well, I mean, I know Joe is doing really weird shit, but I have no idea what the other team is doing, so I can't make that call. I feel like a lot of people just ignore that and say, it was just one game, it was luck. Those are the people that actively ruin the game, not the dickheads that are like very blatant and brazen about it. In fact, I love those people. I already know from the start of the game that even if it's a boring one, even if it's a shitty game, it's getting erased. It's not going to affect my match history. It's just not going to. But it's the ones that are, you know, fucking around with 20, 30, 40 games in a row because they're using soft aim or they're using, you know, like trigger bot that's a little bit harder to catch. Those are the ones I'm worried about, and those are the ones that are being impacted by the massive influx of shitty cheats. Because damn, there are a lot of them. And I guess I should also correct myself. I've seen more people get banned in-game while playing non-prime than ever I could have ever expected. I mean, I'm saying maybe 5 or 6 in the 24 or 30 games that I played. That's a lot. I've only seen that one time in prime matchmaking. So I just think that there is a system. It's not working as well as it could, and I miss the good Overwatch cases. I wish that I could get Overwatch cases for people that were not brazenly cheating. But anyways, I had to make this video because not only was I wrong, I believe I was wrong, but also it's a very real problem. Like, non-prime is a cesspool, but it's a fun one. If you want to have fun with your friends, make a 5-stack and then go in and queue up and fuck around on anything that's not Dust and probably not Mirage. You're going to enjoy yourselves. You don't have to take it seriously. It's a free account. Who cares? Just make sure you don't get ranked too high, because then you actually won't ever find a match. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the Counter-Strike content so far. And as always, I'll talk to you guys later.